Hi, this is Keith Bradbury of Mojo Mouthpiece Work. I'm going to play test a number of mouthpieces that I have for sale. They're handmade by me, starting with a machine blank from some friends of mine. I'll go downstairs in the where my shop is and describe the design features of these mouthpieces in general. But just to whet your appetite, here's a one-of-a-kind mouthpiece that I have for sale that I'm calling the Injustice. I only have this in a 121 tip opening. It's a little bigger than I like. It's matched with a 2.5 fiber cell reed. Okay, the other ones I have to show you are all similar tip opening facings when I do the demo later. So stay tuned and let's go down to the shop. Okay, here are the mouthpieces that I'll be play testing for you. I have all these for sale at this time. First one I've already played, that Mojo Injustice, as I called it, has a kind of a Duke-off or a Michael Brecker 1 kind of baffle. You see a straight ramp and then it drops off to another ramp, but where it departs is a Duke-off will have a little wart in this area. Brecker will go straight. This has actually a little bit of a round nose or bullet nose chamber. I'll put this light in here, see if you can see it. A little more detail. There you go. It's a well-made mouthpiece, made from a blank from Laurie Waldron of LAW Mouthpieces in the United Kingdom. It doesn't have a bite plate. I have to use a patch on there. So it's a little more open than I like to play, but it's a very nice mouthpiece. This I'm going to, when we go back upstairs, this is a Link, modern Link New York that I refaced. Was a 7, has a 105, 106 tip opening now. Medium long facing at 50. Links tend to be 46, 48. I lengthened the facing a little bit. I flattened the table. This is the darkest mouthpiece in the lineup. I'm playing this to give you kind of a baseline because some of you are familiar with Links and you'll be able to judge how much brighter these mouthpieces are based on how I sound on this one. Design features of a Link is you'll have a little bit of a rollover baffle here, a little bit of a hump, and then it's fairly low, and then there's curved side walls on the inside and fairly large chambers. Most people call this large because of the low baffle, but it's really kind of a medium since it's the same diameter as the bore. Take a look at that. Nice sounding mouthpiece, but it doesn't have a lot of projection. If you're by yourself with a small combo, it's great. If you're trying to, play in front of a big band and you don't have a great microphone, or you're in a rock band, competing with guitars or with trumpets, you get frustrated by not being able to hear yourself in the mix. So these are all degrees of brighter. I have the Vortex here, the Vortex 2, a Mojo Smoke, and then this last one here is the Justice. So I'll be playing after the Link, the Vortex 2, because it's the darkest of my mouthpieces that I have. Baffle's a little higher, you can see, than the Link. It's got a little more arch to it here. That gives it some brightness. The side walls are a little curved, not to the degree of the Link. That helps, but the baffle really controls more of the sound than the sidewalls do. The chamber has spiral flutes, which are kind of cool looking, It gives it a different character, but really the sound is more dominated by the baffle than the sidewalls, than the chamber. So it's still a kind of a medium chamber. So you'll have to play it, or listen to me play it, to figure out, judge for yourself whether or not you like the sound of that. The Vortex, both of these are the same, from the same blank, but this Vortex has a higher baffle. So like I said, and a kind of a more noticeable bullet chamber. These blanks are made by Carlo Addi of Italy. He's a sax player and a machinist. And they're very slim. Nice quality blanks, though. These are all gold plated. It has a bite plate. Mojo Smoke. This is a prototype. I just felt like doing this one. It's nickel plated with a black nickel dip that I did myself. The plating I sent out for, so it's got a thick nickel plating on it, and the dip is kind of shallow. That might not last much over time, but it can be touched up, you know. It has a similar design, really, to the Vortex, so there's similar brightness. Does not have the spiral fluted chamber, but it has a medium small chamber. Still a very bright mouthpiece and a lot of projection. So this one has a 110 tip opening. These I have in several tip openings. Same thing with this Justice. Similar exterior body to the Injustice, is made by Laurie Waldron again. It's got a little fatter body. And the baffle is kind of in between these two, like falls, it's a little higher than the Vortex. I mean, it's higher back here than the Vortex, but it's actually lower up here. So, I find that I sound a little darker on it than the Vortex, but a little brighter than the Vortex too. So give me an idea of some detail of that. Okay, let's go upstairs and play these other 5. Okay, the sax I'm using is a Con 10M from the late 60s. Still made in USA. Didn't have the rolled tone holes. This one has been overhauled in black lacquer before I bought it. But it plays nice. I have 2 of these, and the other one's got a few dents in it, and this one plays better. So that's what I use to test the mouthpieces. Okay, for a bass line, so you can kind of relate to a mouthpiece you may know that you've tried playing yourself. This is a modern Auto-Link Tone Master New York, so it's a little wider chamber. I put my own facing on this one, so the response is how I like it. It's a little longer of a facing. This one has a 106 tip opening, so it's similar to the Handmade mouthpieces that I will be playing next. Was a number 7. It's around similar to the original tip opening, just a more even, responsive facing. This is a very dark sounding mouthpiece to me. Sounds really pleasant by itself and in a small combo, but when you get in with a bunch of trumpet players, or a loud big band, or a rock band with guitars, a fusion band, or whatever, it sometimes gets buried in the mix. But here's what I sound like on it. Okay, this is the Vortex 2 mouthpiece. It's got the same It's from the same blank as my original Vortex mouthpiece, only I've lowered the baffle about as much as I can with this blank. I have a number 3 fiber cell reed on it, like I was using on the Link. If the Link, if you have a brightness scale from 1 to 10, with a Link being a 1, and let's say something really bright like a Gardala King or Super King being a 10, I'd call the Link the 1. This is my darkest piece, but I'd still call this maybe a 4. It's a couple notches, few notches brighter than the Link. Okay, here is my original Vortex. So it has a higher baffle. On the 1 to 10 scale, I'd call this an 8. It's a pretty bright mouthpiece, but not horrendously extreme. So you have no problem getting heard over a band with this one. Okay, this is my Mojo Smoke. It's a one-of-a-kind prototype mouthpiece. Very similar to the Mojo Vortex. Doesn't have the spiral fluted chamber, but otherwise has pretty similar dimensions inside. I'd also call this an 8. So that one also screams pretty good. Okay, this last one is a Mojo Justice. I have these in several tip openings, and I have a few more blanks left. It's a fatter body than my slim Vortex 2s. Different kind of comfort. On a scale, a brightness scale, it might be like a 6. Kind of in between her. There you have it. If you would like to try one of these out, you're welcome to a 2 or 3 week trial. Just pay for the mouthpiece while you have it. If you return it in good condition, without scratches and marks or dents in the bite plate, I'll refund everything except shipping and handling. There you go.